Great pleasure right now to welcome to the program one of the co-authors of a fascinating book and part of a series of books that have been very successful called 5 Good Minutes in Your Body, 100 Mindful Practices to Help You Accept Yourself and Feel at Home in Your Body. We're joined by Dr. Jeffrey Brantley. He's a consulting associate in the Duke University Department of Psychiatry and the founder and director of the Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction Program at Duke Center for Integrative Medicine. He joined us by telephone today. Dr. Brantley, thanks for joining us in Sarasota. How are you today?
I'm good, Doug. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
Are you stress-free?
Well, I don't know if that. I'm trying to manage my stress. Let me put it that way.
I don't think we should be totally stress-free. You need some in your life, right?
Well, that's right. You know, as they say, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf.
That's right. Well, first of all, congratulations. I know there's been kind of a series of these books that have come out over the past few years, and the latest one right now. I guess no better time than the present to have a book on how to deal with managing your life, right?
Well, I think so. And these books have really hit a note. They've been very popular. They've been translated into several foreign languages, and it seems like that people, kind of gravitate to the message, but it may have to do, too, with the pace of our world, that everybody wants 5 minutes. Something they can do in 5 minutes. But they have been popular books, and this latest one's we're excited about.
Yeah, you mentioned that, 15, 20 years ago, maybe not even that far ago, but people seem to be operating on a slower pace, even in the workplace. Now with email and all the technology, people expect, I think, things to happen much more quickly, and then that adds stress, doesn't it?
Well, I think it really does, and lives are busy. I know one fellow on a call-in show said he wanted a book called 1 Good Minute, and I kind of laughed, and he said, no, he says, I work 2 jobs, and I'm a single parent, and his life was completely stretched,
Just reading through some of the tips in the book, and I guess an underlying theme is, just take time just to do nothing. Even if you're really busy, just take that 5 minutes to, look at a sunset or something, or take a walk on the beach if you're near a beach, right?
Well, what we talk about it is actually coming off of autopilot and really paying attention and being present in this moment for however many ticks of the clock you've got,
Right.
It's all about the present moment and being here with our attention and a kind of open-hearted attention. And that can make all the difference.
Now, you have an interesting job. I just read, what you do at Duke University, and to have a whole department dedicated to stress reduction, I guess kind of says what our lives have become the last quarter century with technology, right? I mean, you're doing great work up there, but I guess, 50 years ago, maybe we didn't talk about stress in that same way, right?
Well, we sure didn't. We have a lot more science about it now, too, understanding how our thoughts and our reactions to things really impact on the body's stress reaction. And if that goes unmanaged for a period of time, then the consequences to health and happiness are pretty serious, really. So at Duke Integrative Medicine, we have mindfulness and stress management right at the very core of what we try to do with people.
Now, we did mention at the top, kind of half joking, but there is a part of life where there's positive stress too. If you're playing a game and there's a little pressure on you, that's good stress. It helps you perform better. Actors have that when they go on stage. So there's good stress too, isn't there?
There is. The language around stress is actually complicated and can be confusing, and certainly some people acknowledge this, that they get revved up a little bit or activated a bit, like you said, in a game or in a certain situation. But it's recognizing when that happens to us and then knowing how to manage it when we don't need it, I think is what the core of a good health approach might be.
How about diet dealing with stress? Obviously, too much alcohol is not good for you in any situation, but I guess certain foods as well. So diet and that aspect of your life is a big part of stress management, isn't it?
Well, it really is, Doug. And, a lot of people, they feel stressed out, which is a feeling of discomfort, and then they seek to soothe themselves by eating when they're not hungry or eating the wrong kinds of things or too much of the wrong kinds of things. And this just adds, in the long run, to their health problems. So managing the stress and paying attention to how we use food is an important part of our overall health. And
exercise is a way to get rid of it. So I guess, certain types of exercise, even if you just take a walk around, I've always felt better if you're feeling a little bit wound up, go play tennis or something like that. So that's a good way to relieve it, isn't it?
Well, it relieves the sense of the body being activated, but we talk about, cultivating awareness, mindfulness, so that we can begin to notice what's going on in the inner life as well. Because if we don't begin to be aware of our emotions and our inner stories and thoughts, they'll just come back and charge your body. You can go out and walk your 5 miles and come back in and do 5 minutes of email, and if your mind takes off on you, then pretty soon your body will be stressed out again.
Yeah, you do have
so
to.
the mindfulness really helps us gain awareness of our inner life, emotional intelligence, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, the mental aspects, too, obviously, you have to deal with, so that's very important. What kind of reaction, Dr. Brantley, have you had to these books? I guess you must get a lot of phone calls, probably a lot of emails, too, right, for the series of books?
I get a lot of feedback. It's very satisfying for the most part, the people can resonate to the fact that our culture gives us so many complicated and confusing messages about our bodies. And, so if we can learn to inhabit our bodies and have a healthy relationship with our bodies, our health and happiness can really benefit. And people are picking up on that, really.
People say having a pet is a good stress reliever. Obviously, if you have a happier marriage or a good friendship with somebody, that's a good stress reliever. So that also factors in, doesn't it?
Well, it sure does. We're not alone in this world, whether we like it or not. And we do exist in relationship with others, including pets. And so cultivating healthy and happy relationships is an important part of really being a whole human being.
Dr. Brantley, we appreciate you joining us for a few minutes today in Sarasota. Hopefully, if you come down this way, we'll be able to do it again. Thanks for being with us today.
I'd like that, Doug, and I appreciate being on your show. Good luck to you and all your listeners.
For the Jimmy Mullet Report, this is Doug Miles, WSLR News.